Because we are here with the one, the only Miss Courtney Rhodes.
David, I'm here finally.
In New York. I know we have been trying to do this for a minute.
We haven't, and I am so happy to be here and looking forward to this.
I'm so happy. Listen, I should say welcome to New York. Welcome to my studio. Welcome behind the velvet rope. But really, I should say welcome to Bravo and welcome to The Real Housewives.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I mean, so listen, this season, we're coming to an end now. So you've filmed it, you've watched it back, we've watched it back. Social media has commented, lots of your castmates have commented. Like, how has this been for you?
You know what? Overall, it's been amazing. Because number one, it certainly pushed me out of my comfort zone. Like no amount of preparation in life could actually prepare you to go into a friend group like this and hold your own. It was highs and lows. I made some incredible friendships, deepened some friendships, and made some frenemies. So I think that's kind of what it's all about.
That really covers the gamut. I mean. So. Like, did you know what to expect? Like, did you you're in Atlanta, so obviously you had 14 seasons to choose from. Like, did you watch this show before you were on it?
So I did. So in the beginning, I loved the show, and I was a loyal watcher. Then, life does what it does, and I missed some seasons. I actually had moved to Chicago for a couple years, and I got a divorce and moved back. So I had to play catch up. So I had to quickly play catch up. But again, I certainly had no idea what I was stepping into.
Did you ever say, like, okay, this is something I want to be a part of? Did you look at, like, a NeNe Leakes up there and say, I can do that?
First off, I love NeNe Leakes. Let me just say that. Never I know I could do that, but the opportunity, there were conversations before in the past about joining the cast, and this time just felt right. Just where I was in my life with all the new beginnings, like, why not give this a shot?
You came on as Sheree's friends.
Yes.
What is the best thing about being friends with Miss She by Shereé Whitfield?
So Shereé is a very loyal friend. If she rocks with you, she really rocks with you. So I think that's the thing I love the most about her. And number two, she is just so much fun. Like, when the two of us are together with the cameras off, we are giggling, we are laughing, we just have a good ass time. It just reminds me of, like, high school girlfriends when you're vulnerable and you're laughing and you're talking about stuff. So, I mean, she's fun and she's super loyal, which are two characteristics that are extremely important to me.
Loyalty is hard to come by.
It's so hard to come, and especially on platforms like this, because I think you can get caught up, right? Like, just trying to finagle your way through a situation or a scenario. But when you know that you have a true friendship with someone that's loyal, you can go 10 toes down because you know that person's going to do the same for you. And that just made me sleep good at night. You had
based on that, like, there were no reservations at all. Because, like, listen, you look at, like, Lisa Vanderpump and Kyle. You look at, like, the Tres Amigas, Vicky and Tamara and Shannon. Like, they've broken up and gotten back together. Bethany and Jill. We were just talking about Jill before we started. Yeah. Like, you had no feelings of, like,
never.
This is a good friend.
And that may have been naive, but I never, just because from day one, she's just always been a genuine person, and we met each other where we were. We had a great time. We didn't see each other all the time. Actually, there were, when I was in Chicago, there was, like, years where we didn't see each other, but then we saw each other and we picked right back up. So, no, not at all.
Wow. Did Shereé give you any advice? Like, we're going to get into some of your statements about this group, about frenemies.
Yes.
But I mean, you watched and you said, like, nothing could really prepare you, right? Like, you don't know really what.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I can't reiterate that enough.
You got there and you're like, oh God, what did I sign up for?
Or you're thinking, like with me, I wanted to build an authentic relationship with every one of the women, separate and apart from their relationship with Shereé or other people that I, was building relationships with. And it just quite didn't work that way.
No, you've had an interesting season.
I have had interesting. We can go with that.
We're going to get into that in a second. Like, did Shereé give you any advice,
I'm sorry.
Beware of this person?
You know what? She didn't. She said, be yourself. Stay true to yourself because that's all you're going to have. That's all you're going to have. And she said, I want you to make your own assessment of people based on your interactions, which is what felt most natural for me anyway. So it was great advice.
Did you go in, having watched some of this, even though, the middle years you kind of were in Chicago, like you said, but then you caught up, like, did you go in with like preconceived notions about anyone in particular? And did someone surprise you where you're like, I don't think I'm going to like this person? And then, they're standing in front of you and you're like taking them at face value and you actually like them, or the opposite?
Yeah. So I would say Marlo, I was a fan girl just because her style's amazing. She seems to have this fun, big, regal personality. So I was like, boy, she's probably going to give me the hardest time. And refreshingly, she was, outside of Shereé, the most welcoming and genuine to me from day one until right now. So that was nice.
Who was the least welcoming?
Kenya.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. What's going on when you say until right now with Marlo? Talk to me about that.
Marlo and I have been developing a very authentic, genuine friendship, and I love it. Like, I am the kind of girl where I haven't been that open to a lot of new friendships in my adult life, just because I have my friends from different seasons and life is busy. And so I have tons of colleagues, but not a lot of close friends.
Right.
But I truly do believe that Marlo has my best interest, and I certainly have hers. And to find that bonding on a platform like this just, to me, is incredible, and it just really touches my heart, honestly.
What has been like, we'll start on a positive note, what has been like a highlight of this whole experience through you? Like
the friendships?
Yeah.
The laughter, the friendships.
Really?
Yeah.
What's been a low light? Like, what's just one thing that stands out of like, oh God?
Just that, my normal day-to-day, my personality is typically more reserved and welcoming, and I started out on a really high, not positive note, but it was authentic and it was true, and I have learned to use my voice and whatever feels authentic and true to just rock with it. So for me, it was low, just being like, you know what? I just have to own that shit because it's what I did. It's not my proudest moment, but it's real, and I'm a real person, and I just trust that people would relate to me as things went on.
And when you say you started out like on a moment that you consider low, are you talking about with Kandi?
Yes.
I mean, that's what I thought you were talking about.
Yes, it was a lot.
So what was it, about that, and how did that all develop?
So the thing that bothered me the most about that was the lack of context to the situation, right? So I understand